What up, everybody? This is Carlos, the Texas Squeegee, and I'm back. Alright, so today in the shop we got the big body of the Teslas, the Tesla Model X. Now this vehicle has 14 individual windows, including the ginormous and gigantic front windshield. Now as the car sits right now, heat is a giant issue. Now what we're going to be doing to take care of this problem is using a premium nano ceramic tint on all the windows, including the entire front windshield. No seams, no overlaps, no three-piece install. However, the purpose of this video is to show you guys how the best tint shop is going to handle doing one of the most difficult cars in the world today. All right, so before we get started on this, we're going to perform a little heat test with the car as it is without any tint right now. So I'm going to take out my handy dandy meter along with my dandy handy heat lamp. Now what this is going to do is going to measure out the amount of heat coming through. What this does is puts out the heat. So without further ado, let's get it, dude. So the way I'm positioning this light right here is I'm letting it rest outside that gasket so there's no movement with it. I'm going to take this meter right here and measure this. Now this is measuring in BTUs, which is British thermal units, which is just measuring the amount of heat. Now as it sits right there, it's reading 500 BTUs, which is almost at the max that this can read. There's a lot of heat coming through and I can feel it just sitting right here in my hand.
And now for the windshield, and that's the reading.
We're going to be putting ceramic tint on this, the premium ceramic tint, coming back, measuring it again and see how much of a difference it's actually going to cut out this time. So now that we got the side doors and all the back windows done, we're moving on to the front windshield. Now this is a Mac Daddy of windshields because it is huge, which is one of the cool features about this thing. Now, the way that we're gonna do it is we're not gonna split it up. There isn't gonna be any seams, no overlaps, no 2 or 3 piece. We're gonna do the entire thing in one single sheet to show that it is possible to do it and what it's gonna look like once it's completed. All right, so let's go. so now that the car has been completed with a tint install, we are going to do a post-install heat test using our meter and our heat lamp. So I'm going to turn this on and set it outside just like I did before we tinted it on the gasket. I'm going to position this meter in a very similar same spot. As you see right here, now we're in the lower double digits, so it's cutting out a ton of heat using premium nano ceramic tint on the doors and everything. All right, so what we did on this one, I'm gonna take you a little bit of an overview about how we did it and our approach to it. So on your two front doors, the customer wanted to do a dark film, so we did a 5% limo tint. Now this one is a showroom Tesla, so we went ahead and did it for him. The back windows are 5% equivalent. Now what that means is that the back windows were already factory smoked from the dealership. That's how Tesla makes these. However, he didn't want a contrast between the front and the back, so on the back one we actually did a 20%. That in combination with the 20% factory gives the equivalent of a 5%. So from the inside, it looks even all the way throughout. We did all the windows right here, this quarters, the big one, rear doors, rear quarters, the rear second quarters, and then that rear glass. We did everything computer cut. And then the last thing, this was the tough one, the one that so many shops turned down and everybody's scared to do, is this entire giant front windshield. Now, most people that actually do them, the very few that would do them in several different ways. One of them is they'll either do from the bottom, from the middle, all the way down to the bottom, and they leave the top exposed. From the outside, you can't really see it. However, once you sit on the inside, you could see the bottom portion that's tinted and the top that's not. The other way that people do them is do them in three pieces, which is you do your bottom section and then each piece along the tops. The reason why this one isn't particularly difficult is because that top edge, you've got the mirror at the top, it splits up that tint. That's what's hard to lay the tint on there. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. See this windshield, most cars, the windshield will stop around right here. Right along, more or less where the mirror is at. This one continues way up here above and beyond the driver. So the hard part is getting this section here, is laying the tint on both sections here at the same time and getting one clean, crease-free, wrinkle-free, dirt-free install. But it is possible. You just got to take your time and do it right and be patient with it. That's the main thing. These take a super long time to do, but when they're done right, they look really, really good. Once the tint dries up, it's invisible. You can't even see it now. So one of the other things that we do, that we pay particularly close attention to, is the cut around this seam right here, because it's very easy for anybody to cut this bigger and then you could see the light gap from the bottom all the way to the top. However, the way that we did this one is we intentionally cut it big and do the final cut on the inside. Once everything's been squeegeed out, we push it all the way to the edge, and then with a very thin blade we go and just cut out that excess. By the time it's done, it looks perfect. Stealth. It's a seamless install. It looks completely factory. You can't even tell that there's tint on here. That's how close to the edge that it is. So we're gonna take it outside to give a final inspection before we deliver it back to the customer. So this is called a full ceramic tint install package, which includes doing every glass on the car with ceramic tint. It's the best way to keep out the heat. If you have a car that you want to get done with us, please visit us at our website at texastintmasters.com. To keep watching the best tint videos from the Best Tint channel on YouTube, subscribe to the channel down below. This has been Carlos, the Texas Squeegee, signing off, and I'll see you on the next one.